One of my absolute favorite types of practice members to see is a colicky baby. Like if I know that kiddo is coming in and has not stopped crying, mom and dad have not slept, people have barely eaten. Ooh, I love it. I know that sounds so jerky, right? Because I don't want you to be suffering like that, but let me tell you why. First of all, when you get a diagnosis of colic, it basically means I don't know what's wrong with your child, but it kind of falls into this category of they won't stop crying and we just say they have colic. And sometimes they might also have some like very obvious reflux, spitting up, things like that. So some horrendous medications are given to these tiny little bodies. And then sometimes when that's not the case, what kind of solution do you think is offered to these parents at your pediatrician's office? Zero of a solution, okay? Whether you go to the hospital, the pediatrician, and I'm not trying to knock medicine by any means, but they don't have anything to give you because it's still kind of a, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's causing this in your kid. So just go home and see. Well, I'm here to tell you chiropractic is your answer every single time, okay? How many times? Every single time. There has never been a colicky kiddo that we have taken care of that has not gotten better quickly. It just doesn't happen because their nervous systems are an absolute mess and they have zero idea how to regulate. That's what's happening. They're just screaming, 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 crying, 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 because that's the only way they can communicate anything, right? And they have no ability to regulate that nervous system, to press that brake pedal and just be able to take a breath and go to sleep, or just smile for a minute, or release all that tension from their body. So why? What do we do? What are we adjusting? Why chiropractic to begin with? When we look at colic, just like kind of any other symptom that might present in the body, there's no one place in the spine that we're going. But I will also tell you that a lot of times there's a lot going on in the middle of the spine, a ton, because those are the nerves very heavily going to the digestive tract. They're everything from the intestines to the stomach itself to the colon. Everything's being regulated by the nerves in that upper and lower part of the spine. So when we release that tension there, when we release that subluxation, when we release that interference and allow that brain-body communication to be, the first thing this kiddo does is just chill for a minute, okay? We, of course, then go to the sacrum. We check to make sure everything in that lower digestive part is going well. We go to the upper cervicals. We make sure that everything is going well there so that it can help support their sleep wake cycles, of course, and they can regulate all that there. All this to tell you that if someone gives you a there is no solution, do not take that as an answer. Your child will not grow out of colic. Colic actually will grow into some other version for your kiddo later on. They might end up with a digestive issue later on. They might end up with crazy skin issues later on. They might end up with like acne as a teenager, hormonal imbalances. I don't know. But you don't just grow out of things if your body is a mess to begin with. And I'll give you a quick example. We had a kiddo in here who throughout her entire exam, the whole 45 minutes they were in here, she cried and like scream cried, not just regular cried, the whole time. And then I got to adjust her. I got to see her back the next day. We chatted, we looked eye to eye. We of course smiled. Did she cry a little bit during that adjustment too? Yeah, but was it the same type of I'm going to continuously cry for 45 minutes crying? No, it was please give me back to my mother. I'm really tired. I need to sleep cry. After one visit. So how do you think that family felt? How do you think they slept that night? How do you think that little human who's only a couple months felt? And how do you think they're now going to be able to step into the rest of their life? It makes a really big difference. And if you've been a little bit hesitant, call us or help us find you a chiropractor that's near you, because chiropractic is truly a phenomenal solution for colic.